This is the Jack Murphy Podcast. Here's your host, Jack Murphy.
Wait, Alpha Trevette rejoins us today on the Jack Murphy Podcast. You know, Alpha, I did something really stupid. Let's see,
Wow.
I know that's hard to believe. You were on last Thursday,
Yeah.
and at the start of the program, I showed a picture, and I asked you to identify it. And I said at the end of the podcast, I would tell everybody what it was. And it was this picture. And you took a guess, but we didn't identify you. Take one more guess at it.
Okay. I think I guessed rice cakes, I believe.
Yeah, you
And
said rice cakes.
and scrubbing pads. So,
Yeah.
all right.
That is the McRib. That's how it's delivered to the McDonald's store in its frozen form. You know,
and you like those things.
I didn't say that. I said I've eaten them 4 or 5 times, and
Wow.
they tasted pretty good. And then I found out how they were made, and
Yeah.
I didn't really care to eat them anymore.
Well, if you've eaten them 4 or 5 times, after the second time, you must like them.
You know, they tasted okay. I mean, it tasted like a barbecue sandwich,
Right.
and it was at the drive-thru. So
Yeah.
But it's not something I would order again. Anyway, welcome to the Jack Murphy Podcast. I'm Jack Murphy. My dear friend Alpha Trevette, the actor, joins us today. What a glorious, glorious weekend it was. As the Georgia Bulldogs defeated Texas Longhorns in a game that I'm not sure they were supposed to win, and it's going to be a close game. A lot of people, and they just kicked their ass.
Yeah, it was a blowout.
It was a great game. I really enjoyed it.
Chain Popeyes became a victim of its own advertising today. So many customers lined up for a big special. Some locations, including one in Penfield and the city, ran out of chicken.
And you mean to tell me that we can't feed our kids?
No chicken? They just out of chicken.
I said I'm calling customer service now to see where there's another Popeyes at.
Yeah, they seem to be out of chicken today, so I'll just pick up a pizza. It's no big deal.
Well, first thing I want to talk about today, Alpha, is we've talked a lot on the podcast, you and I have, about fat acceptance, about how more and more it's okay to be obese. It's okay to be really overweight. And if anybody says anything about it, they have fat phobia, and it's not right. And they ought to have extra seats on the airplane for free if they need it. And we need to stop fat shaming people. And I think you and I both have had kind of the same reaction to that, is that obesity and overweightness in general in this country is going to kill millions of people going forward in the future.
Yeah, it's not healthy.
And it's going to create a tremendous medical cost in this country due to diabetes and stroke and heart attack and cancer. And there's going to be a lot of amputees as these diabetic people that are obese begin to lose their toes and their feet and their legs and whatnot. So I don't care if you get mad if we talk about it, because I think it's genuinely, just like drug addiction and so many other things, I think it's a health emergency in our country.
Yeah, and as you've lost weight, I've lost weight, and I was never what you call obese, but I was carrying around more pounds than I needed to, and I've lost that, and I feel so much better.
Yeah,
you know,
I definitely at one point 20 years ago was obese.
Yeah,
I mean, I was definitely what you would consider obese. Now I'm just chubby. But I'm in really good shape, and I try really hard. My point is, it can be done.
Yeah.
But guess what they're having? Maybe they just had it over the weekend. You know, you've heard of Comic-Con.
Oh no.
How many Comic-Con like things can you think of?
Dragon Con, Comic-Con, Sci-Fi Con.
Yeah. There's Comic Book Con.
Yeah.
There's Sports Con, wrestling.
Yeah.
So guess what they had over the weekend?
Chubby Con?
FatCon.
FatCon. Okay.
Yeah. Now, if you were going to promote FatCon, you came up with the idea. Where do you think would be a great place to have it? A city, just name a city.
Biloxi, Mississippi.
No, that's not
No?
it at all. Seattle, Washington, the most liberal city in pretty much in America. San Francisco, Portland, or Seattle would have been my top three choices. So here is a woman who went to FatCon, and she chronicled her journey along the way. Now, she was going as a vendor. So if you were going to be a vendor at FatCon, gosh, there's so many ideas of things that you could sell at FatCon. I mean, we could make a gigantic list, brownies, cookies, cookie mix, you go on and on and on. But let's see what this lady was selling.
Come with me on a big fat road trip to FatCon. There were signs all along the way that we were headed in the right direction.
Tired?
What a gorgeous 3-day drive with some important business stops along the way. We made it to Seattle, and it was time to start setting up for FatCon. But look at this gorgeous room we got to stay in all weekend. After a busy night of setting up in the vendor's alley, I was ready for y'all. And you were ready for me. Thank you so much for the support. It was such a treat to watch everyone try my pants on. So cute. Fat joy everywhere. There were so many activities, and I got to participate in a few. The printmaking was back, and here's me having my little Avril Lavigne moment. Of course, there was a fat pool party, and people were wearing my suits, which I love. Bingo! No, I didn't win. Fatties After Dark with an ice cream social. Here are my gorgeous models for the plus-size fashion show. You can be my Melody or Karomi in my cargo pants. Watch out, we're back on the road, and I am selling pants out of the back of our van. We had a lovely pop-up at I Want Seconds in Portland. Thank you to all who came out. And on the last day, we had a rainbow. Yay!
Awesome. The great thing about making fat clothes for fat people is you get a lot of repeat customers because they just keep getting bigger and bigger. And you have to make them new stuff because they outgrow it.
I bet there was a lot of tension on the elevators, though. I mean, people were doing math in their head. Wait a minute, load limit on this.
It took them forever to book a hotel that could handle all the catering and everything. Oh,
God bless them. If that's their choice to be that, fine. I don't hate you because you're overweight.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's probably a choice that you're making that's probably not good in the long run, but that's you.
And that's the thing. They think we hate them. We don't hate you. I don't have fat phobia. I don't hate gay people. I don't have homophobia. I don't hate people that are Muslims. I'm not Islamophobic. I just disagree with you. There's a difference.
Did you get many spankings as a kid?
As a kid, no. No, wait.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
All right, I got a big warning on the program today. It's another food story, believe it or not, Alpha.
Okay.
And this is pretty serious. A guy developed an allergy to meat after he was bitten by a tick.
Yes.
And then he died.
Yes.
A 47-year-old man died after eating a hamburger at a barbecue joint. Now, apparently he'd eaten a steak a couple of weeks before, and he got violently ill. But he survived that, and he was feeling okay. And then I guess him and his wife went to this barbecue place, and instead of having the barbecue, he ordered a hamburger, and he had this reaction to it, and he died.
Yeah.
Now, the deal is, go ahead.
I remember there's someone from the World Economic Forum.
Mm-hmm.
It may have been Yuval Harari, who looks like Nosferatu, and Bill Gates might have been involved in here, but they were talking about this very thing, is genetically altering ticks to create this virus in people that makes them allergic to meat that will make them stop eating meat that will solve all our climate problems.
Now, if we find out that's what happened, and they've unleashed something like this on the public, they ought to drag them son of a bitches through the street and hang them.
Yep, absolutely. Well,
I mean, I'm still, listen, I was listening to a documentary over the weekend about the COVID virus, and I got so angry about COVID, about the cover-up, about the Wuhan, and about the fact that we paid for it, and nobody has been punished. Nobody went to jail. Nobody suffered economic pain that was involved in it. Nobody got fired. They killed millions of people with a with a problem that didn't exist. They created the problem, let it loose on the public, and it killed millions of people, including my sister. And I'm still pissed about it.
Well, there's evidence that that the Lyme disease was something that was created intentionally. That has
I've never
caused
heard this.
Yes, created.
All right, let me finish. Let me finish telling you about this thing. This condition is called alpha-gal syndrome, and it develops when a lone star tick bites someone and triggers their body to react to sugar found in red meat. After that, eating beef, pork, or lamb can set off a delayed allergic reaction that range from hives and stomach trouble to rare situations where you have a dangerous collapse of the immune system. This guy lived in New Jersey. He ate a hamburger and is the first known fatality of the disease, this alpha-gal syndrome. Now, I don't know about you for your dogs, but I'm terrified of ticks because I've known a few people who had the Lyme disease, and I knew somebody had Rocky Mountain spotted fever. But I knew a young man that had Lyme disease, and it just devastated him. He was this successful student, was going to college, and he literally had to come home and was in the bed for a couple of years.
Yeah.
He just couldn't do anything. He was no energy. It was like having Epstein-Barr, which, by the way, did you read the report about Epstein-Barr over the weekend? There's a new scientific study out, and they think that Epstein-Barr is what causes lupus. They had never connected the two, and they're hoping that they can create some sort of a virus. But I give my dogs that 3-in-1, the flea, tick, and heartworm thing, Xarelto, I think it's called. I go ahead and take one myself too, just
you put
just
it on the
in
back
case.
of your neck there.
No, you swallow it. It's an edible. For my dogs, I put it in peanut butter and they eat it. Me, I just swallow it. Yeah, I figure, what can it hurt? I don't want ticks. I don't want fleas. And I sure don't want heartworms. So
no, that would be
so
awful.
far, I haven't had any of the three.
Any kennel cough or anything like that?
No, the dogs are fine too.
Okay,
so
good.
Everything's okay. And there was another big medical story. What was it? It was the Epstein-Barr that I'll think of it in a minute, but we'll get there. So
now you get the wrong kind of storm, and that can mess that up.
It's such a flaccid forecast right there. Oh my God!
Now I see it.
Oh no!
I didn't know what it was.
Now you see it. Oh.
We have our most powerful aircraft carrier right now sitting off the coast of Venezuela.
Was that the Gerald R. Ford?
Yeah, which kind of seems like overkill. But, I mean, they're always sitting somewhere. They don't just leave them in port normally, but every time I go to San Diego, there's always one sitting there. They're refitting or, doing something to it because the Pacific Fleet, it's pretty much based there. But, I kept keep seeing Maduro, he's mobilizing his ground forces. Well, they're not going to do you a whole lot of good against an aircraft carrier. But I mean, I don't think we're going to attack. I just think Trump wants a regime change there because, from what I read over the weekend, here's what I read. I read that Maduro, the president of Mexico, in fact, there's a powerful,
Maduro and the president of Mexico?
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw an interview with a Mexican senator who says that the cartels control the president of Mexico and that she's protecting them.
Yeah.
That the whole country is now one big narco state.
Yeah.
And I don't, they have other industries, but the cartels are controlling the government.
Now, I think the Gerald R. Ford is there for a couple of reasons to spook Maduro a little bit,
right?
Because there's already signals that he wants to talk. So, okay, and he may even be willing to step down and move to another country like Cuba or somewhere else.
Okay, yeah, that's a real vacation hotspot there.
Yeah, but there's also China is making big inroads there. Because they say, hey, if you're not having a good time with the United States, maybe we can help you out because they have 18% of the world's oil and supply about 90% of that to China.
Yeah.
So China, which, as we mentioned last week, has a brand new, supposedly state-of-the-art aircraft carrier. So I think it might
That's a lie. That's a lie. That aircraft carrier couldn't operate if it had to for more than an hour.
Well, the point is, I think it's there as a signal to China as much as it is to Maduro.
Okay. Other little-known fact, whereas Venezuela is sitting on one of the largest, if not the largest, oil reserves in the world, did you know it's really crappy oil? It's a real heavy, it requires a lot of refining to get it to the point that it can be. However, next door, there's a little country that most people haven't even heard of. It doesn't make a lot of news. I think it's called Ghana.
Ghana, yeah.
They have one of the largest supplies of sweet light crude.
Mm-hmm.
And Venezuela has been making noise about invading them and taking over their oil fields. I think that has something to do with it too.
Could be, yeah.
So
plus having a narco-terrorist country basically at our doorstep, not a good thing. And they've been how many of the transport have they blown out of the water now?
17 or so. I don't know, something like that.
Not a good choice.
It just amazes me that who was the wacko before Maduro? He was
Chavez.
Hugo Chavez.
Hugo Chavez.
It just amazes me that these people are sitting on a gold mine that they had other people pulling out of the ground for them, doing the heavy lifting, and then just giving them the money. But they'd rather not do that and be in the drug business.
Right.
I never understood what was going on there.
Well, that was Hugo Chavez's first move, was to nationalize all the oil companies. So
right. All the companies.
Yeah. And you're right. They were making a lot of money for the country. And they go, we'll take it from here. And then Sicko pulled out. There's still lots of petroleum there, but not being produced. It was once one of the richest countries in the Americas, after the United States.
I had a very good friend of mine that was a neighbor. And his name was Wahib Habib. He's from Egypt, but he went to college here in America, and he worked for one of the big furniture companies in High Point, North Carolina, and he worked international, and he traveled all over the world, and, he'd find these rich people that were building big mansions in other countries, and he'd meet with them and sell them all the furniture for their new house. He would go to Venezuela and stay for months. Because there were so many wealthy people there that were building these big mansions and filling them full of furniture. He sold millions of dollars worth of furniture down there. But all those people are gone now. They all left because the country's pretty much uninhabitable.
So all those people who are voting for Mamdani in New York, or what's her name, the new mayor of Seattle, who think, we ought to give socialism, communism a try. Well, look at history. There's not been a successful communist country so far. So
I just love how naive some of these people are. This new woman that they elected mayor of Seattle, the socialist, she's going to pass a law. I mean, I literally laugh. She's going to pass a law making it illegal for grocery stores to close.
Oh, boy.
And I just went, how are you going to do that?
Right.
How are you going to do that? So they leave the doors open, but they never deliver any new groceries to the store.
Right.
Then what you know?
We don't restock the shelves or anything like that.
Yeah, it's just like they live in an alternative universe or something. They're just morons. That's all you can say about them.
I'm so glad you finally got a day off.
I know, I've been working nonstop.
I was thinking maybe we do a little brunch day, go to Target. Oh, also I need to go to Ulta. Oh, and you could take me to get my nails done. What I'm saying, you're not really responding.
Yeah.
The Jack Murphy Podcast.
I just remembered the other medical story I wanted to talk about.
Oh, good.
Alpha. Well, no, it's not good because I think I have it. I exhibit the symptoms of this, and it really has me worried. I read a story today that people who use the words and a lot in their conversation, it's a precursor to dementia.
Oh, no.
And I do that a lot.
Well.
A lot. I mean, it drives me nuts on the podcast when I'm editing it, when I'm going, when I'm trying to collect my thoughts and I can't. And I notice all the time, I don't feel like I have dementia. Let me say that.
Okay.
Of course, I'm sure nobody who, when you first get it, thinks they have it. But I find myself a lot like some simple word that I want to use. Does this happen to you?
Yeah, of
Some
course.
simple word or name will escape me, and I want to hit myself in the face because I can't remember. And then 10 minutes later, it'll pop right in my head.
Sure. Yeah. I don't think I'd let that scare me. Because
it doesn't scare me, but this thing, this is a new one that they sprung on me over the weekend.
Yeah, but who hasn't walked into a room and then gone, the hell did I just walk in here for? And
yeah.
Always do that. Open the refrigerator door and close it, and then 5 minutes later, you open it again and look for the same thing you just looked for.
Exactly.
It happens.
Oh, and by the way, I forgot this, too. Here's another reason I probably have dementia. I forgot to play my Venezuelan Maduro video. Maduro, he's doing what these dictators do, when they're in trouble. You have a bunch of rallies. The Iranian mullahs are famous for this. You call a big death to the great Satan rally, and you give everybody some signs, and they put on their headscarves and they chant "Death to America" and blah blah blah. You know how it works. Well, Maduro did it. And he decided to do a little different thing. He sang some John Lennon. Did you see this? It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Segundo punto de trabajo. Peace, peace, peace.
Peace.
Peace, peace.
Hacer todo por la paz. Como decía John Lennon, ¿no? Alfred Nazaret, ¿cómo era la canción de John Lennon? Imagine.
Bouncy C.
I have to cut that off or we'll get flagged for a copyright violation on YouTube. But he brought out the John Lennon Imagine.
Yeah.
To try to push a little peace.
Well, not to throw any more dirt on you, but you did forget the McRib thing. Forgot the Maduro thing.
I did.
You're going.
I forget crap every single day. I do it all the time. By the way, speaking of peace, Well, in your home state there, Georgia, I mean, where you live, Georgia, a little battle between MTG and Donald J. Trump.
Yeah.
What's going on there? Is it all about the Epstein list?
No, it's not all about that. She's always been a bit of a loon. But conservative people will say, well, look at her voting record. She's 100% voted conservative.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so people in her district are willing to put up with that because of the way she stands up for conservative values.
And her district is like Northwest Georgia, isn't it? Rome, Cedartown. Yeah.
Right.
Well, even my friends that live there are kind of going, she's a little bit of a nut.
But I guess what set most of this off was she claimed that President Trump told her not to run because she's talked about running for Senate or governor. And she says President Trump told her not to run, that she would lose. That's not exactly what happened. He sent her.
Well, can I say this? Even if that is what happened, he was right.
He was right. And here's why I say this, because what he did do was send her a poll that said if she ran for Senate against John Ossoff, she'd lose by 20 points.
Yeah. And I agree she probably would.
And there are other candidates, potential candidates for governor, who would stand a better chance of running for governor. Yeah. That's what he said to her. So
I think she's one of those people who she thinks she's a lot smarter than she really is. Yeah. And she thinks she should be a lot more powerful than she really is. And she's kind of, I think she wants to be Donald Trump, and she's not Donald Trump. And she's kind of pushy and butchy and I mean, she is. She's
a smart lady. She's a successful business person up there in Rome, and she,
What does she do? What's her business?
I think it's a construction, remodeling kind of business. That's part of her family. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
but she always she's always confrontational.
Right.
In everything against everybody. And you don't always have to be that way.
Right. And there's differing thoughts on the things she has done. Some says she's kind of trying to crawl back and apologize to the president. Others say, well, she's trying to suck up to the left. And so I'm not sure what's going on with it right now. But
what I heard from my friends in Northwest Georgia was she should have never gone on The View. They ate her lunch.
Yeah.
And I didn't see it, but they said Whoopi ate her lunch on the
She did kind of
View.
Look like a suck up in that. And so I get where they're coming from in that. But of course, when you go against DJT, he takes no prisoners. I mean, he had a long Truth Social post about her, and boy, it was not
pretty.
kind.
Now, I did read something this morning, and I don't have it here in front of me. And of course, as you know, I have dementia, so I can't remember most of it. Where she was doing an interview with maybe a CNN or CBS reporter, where she walked back how she could have handled things differently. And she said something like she was too aggressive at times or whatnot. So maybe she's trying to pull it back a little bit.
Well, as they say, recognizing you have a problem is the first step to recovery.
Yeah. And the thing is, she's still a relative newcomer to Congress, and she just doesn't have the flash that the AOC has created for whatever reason.
Or the respect.
AOC came along when I think there was a big vacuum in the Democratic Party because Pelosi and Schumer had gotten so old and everything. And so she was this pretty young, well-spoken new face that came along. Now, that's not the period of time that Marjorie Taylor Greene has come along in Republican politics. Yeah. We have a stable full of powerful people now.
Well, and the other side of that is that, there's a media that's willing to cover up for a lot of the shortcomings of a well, she is a beautiful woman and a bartender, and they're willing to put some of that aside and some of her past statements aside and just prop her up. On the other side, they are much more willing to attack someone
Right.
like Marjorie Taylor Greene, and so I mean that
By the
doesn't help
way,
things at all.
let us say that we our prayers and best wishes go out to almost Republican John Fetterman, who took a fall. He had a heart arrhythmia or something over the weekend and had a fall. He got like 20 stitches in his face. And
well, did you see his post on that? Did he post the pictures of it?
God, it looked like a truck hit him.
Well, he said, "You thought my face looked bad before."
Yeah, we did.
He's got a great sense of humor.
Luckily,
though, about things.
I can't remember what your face looked like before because I have,
dementia. Of course,
onset dementia. And it's another scary thing. There's a lot of it in my family.
Yeah,
my grandmother had it. I've got one aunt that died of it a few months ago. I got one aunt that right now is in the throes of Alzheimer's. She doesn't know anybody or anything.
Damn.
All on my mother's side. Now, my father's side, I don't remember anybody having it. They all died of heart disease really early. But other than that, it's great. Nothing to worry about.
I'm worried you might not make it through this podcast, man, for God's sake.
Well, if I do not make it through the podcast, I won't remember it. So it won't matter anyway.
But I will call immediately 911 if you collapse on me, okay?
Okay, all right, good.
That's the kind of guy.
Hey, Mom.
What?
So my girlfriend started complaining to me how the vacuum won't suck anymore. So I looked at her and said, "It's frustrating, ain't it?"
I feel your pain.
Let's move on to Mondami and his Starbucks feud that he started.
Oh, man.
So first of all, there's a Starbucks in my Harris Teeter. And if I were going to drink a Starbucks coffee, that's probably where I'd get it because I'm already in there a lot. But I have never once gone into Harris Teeter and go, I really like a Starbucks coffee. Not one time. I've never bought one. Now, I have bought one like at the airport when I was getting on a flight or something. And I thought, I'll get a cup of coffee, but I'm not a Starbucks customer. I don't like the product, to be quite honest with you. I don't like the taste of their coffee. It's too
right.
It's
now
too
when
strong.
you bought that, when you paid $7 for that cup of coffee, did you take a sip and go, "Why the hell did I buy this?"
I kind of did. I said, why do I do this to myself? I don't like their coffee. It's too roasted.
I don't know what it is, but to me, it tastes like dirt. I don't like
it's burned. They roast the beans, and the less you roast them, the milder the flavor. The more you roast them, the strong. Yeah. And it's just a strong coffee, and I don't like it.
So,
I've said it.
He's up there, Smokey. Lay off the heat a little bit. Come on.
But anyway, apparently, and this is what gets me. You have people, remember, people used to work at McDonald's or Wendy's or something. It wasn't a career. It's a job for people who can't hold down another job, maybe, or it's a part-time job.
Or teenagers or retirees.
Retirees are maybe people that are working there and going to community college on the side or whatever. But it's unless you go into management at McDonald's or Wendy's or whatever, it was never meant to be a career. But now we see these people out protesting, and it's suddenly a career. They're supposed to make enough money at Starbucks or McDonald's to buy a house and a car and raise a family on that salary.
What are they asking for? $30 an hour? How much are they asking for?
I don't know what they're asking for, but I know that Mondami, I'm going to start calling him Mondami. Mondami came out, and he says, no more Starbucks for me. They've got a nationwide union strike going on. I urge all of you to stop. Well, Starbucks coffee, most people, the only reason more people don't buy it's because it's so expensive.
Right.
How much do you think a cup of coffee is going to be if they give them $30 an hour? And Starbucks just announced, I think, Friday or today, that just like Wendy's, they're closing a bunch of stores.
Yep.
I never understood that anyway. I remember one time I went to, where was I? Dallas or Houston somewhere. And I swear there were 4 Starbucks I could see from where I was standing. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
They're on every corner. How does that work?
But you're right. Eventually, I mean, they will price themselves out of existence, which is kind of like what's happened, because this is a leftist kind of thing. You need to pay people more, or you need to allow people to shoplift from there. And if you can't afford to make a living with that, and you pull up and move out, well, it's because you're racist, or you're some sort of ist.
Yeah, and that's it. Next Mondummy will make it a law. You can't close the Starbucks. It'll be against the law to close Starbucks.
Now, that makes sense at a Waffle House, but not at a Publix.
So apparently, let's see here. I missed it. Thursday was Starbucks Red Cup. Now, what is I keep seeing these posts about some special cup at Starbucks. Yeah. Is it a holiday? It's a plastic.
Yeah, it's a Christmas holiday kind of thing.
Cup or something.
Yeah, and people are going crazy over it.
I got one final thing I wanted to mention, Alpha. By the way, Thanksgiving is next week, right?
No, it's the week after.
Yeah, next week.
Well, wait a minute. What do you mean by next week?
Next week is not next this week. Thursday. It's a week from Thursday, right?
Well, yeah, I guess that's right. What is today? Today's 17th?
Monday.
Yeah, Thursday will be the 27th. Yeah.
Yeah, so a week from this Thursday.
Correct.
So I don't want to get into my Thanksgiving material early. Is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, no, because by then you might have forgotten anyway. Because
I'll forgot that I haven't gotten into it.
Did I do that? No, I don't think so.
So here's what I wanted to get into here. Yeah, I kind of have mixed feelings about this story, but I thought we'd get into it anyway. It's a story about people who are dead, who did big things, great things, invented things, created businesses, who did a lot of bad things. They really weren't, the great people that we thought they were. Did you see this article?
I saw some of the things that you had mentioned, but it's kind of sad, really.
Like number one on the list is Steve Jobs. And if you ever hear Mr. Wonderful, Kevin O'Leary,
right,
from Shark Tank, talk about him, he worked with him for a long time. Kevin O'Leary had an educational software company, and he was partners. I guess he got money from Steve Jobs or whatever. Anyway, they were partners on it. And I've seen interviews where he said he was the most miserably mean son of a bitch I've ever met in my life.
Mm.
He said he would say things that you just couldn't believe he said. And he said, and I'd worked with him a long time, and I said, Steve, I wish you could hear yourself right now, the way you sound. And he'd say, I don't give a fuck. People don't know what they want until I tell. Have you gotten rich working with me? And he said, yeah. And he goes, then shut up and do what I say.
Yeah.
That was the way he operated. And, I've heard other people say that about him. He was a genius.
Yeah.
But a lot of geniuses are a-holes.
But when you get that much money and power, you can, be an a-hole if you want.
But you think about it. You've, genius actors, genius musicians, a lot of them can be really bad people. They can be a-holes. There's no doubt about it.
And we put them on a pedestal. We deify them. We think way too highly of them. And then we find out they're assholes.
a-holes. James Brown, the singer,
Oh.
apparently abused multiple wives and girlfriends. I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Coco Chanel had Nazi ties during World War II. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Hugo Boss was an actual Nazi.
An actual Nazi. Oh, my
Actual
gosh.
Nazi. Yeah. He had the dagger and the tattoo and everything, apparently. Paul Walker, the actor that got killed in the car wreck that was in all those movies. What was the racing movies?
Fast and Furious?
At the time, Fast and Furious. At the time of his death, Janine Pilchard Gosnard was his girlfriend. He was 33. She was 16.
Oh.
Is that legal? I guess it depends on the state.
I guess, yeah.
I think in North Carolina, legal.
Legal.
No, North Carolina, you could marry them, but you couldn't have sex with them.
Okay.
You could marry them,
but
with permission, but you couldn't have sex with them until you got married.
Until you got married. But after you married, you could?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't. Thought you had to wait 2 years to have sex with them.
You can't have sex with them unless they're 18.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter how old you are. But if they're under 18, you got to marry them first.
Okay, well.
Yeah, we got a strict rule of code of conduct here in North Carolina.
Yeah, you do. You got your standards.
Very strict. All right, so Alfred Hitchcock.
Oh, I heard he was an asshole.
Did you see the movie? Who starred as Alfred Hitchcock? Was it
Seymour
Lithgow?
Hoffman? Was it
Was it him?
Yeah.
Where he was obsessed with Hetty.
Tippi Hedren.
What was it?
Tippi
Hedren. He was obsessed with her. She starred in The Birds.
Right.
And he was married, and he kept casting her, and he's obsessed with her, and she didn't know it. And then one day he tried something, and she freaked out.
And she rejected him, and
Mm-hmm.
that's why he subjected her to that scene in the phone booth with the birds.
Oh, yeah.
Because she said that was horrible. That was torture. Yeah. And he did that out of spite.
I remember when I was a kid, as a young man, it was in black and white. And I guess, was there something that happened in Hollywood and he kind of lost his movie? They didn't want to make any more movies. Is that why he went to television?
Could have been. Don't know.
And I don't know. But he had a television show that came on, once a week, and it was in black and white. And he'd go, "Good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome.
This is Alfred Hitchcock.
This is the story of a man who," and it was really scary, if you were a kid. I mean, he was kind of scary to look at.
Yeah.
But it was a really good show, the Alfred Hitchcock TV show. And then The Birds, that's one of the scariest movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
What else did he do? North by Northwest?
He did that. And of course, what's the name of that one?
What are you doing there, Alpha?
I think
that's inappropriate for that's
the stabbing with the knife.
Chuck Schumer? You're going to be doing this soon.
Killing her in the shower. What was that one?
Psycho.
Psycho, yeah. See, now I'm
you got the dementia too. You're getting it too. You're getting
That's contagious.
Let's see, John Wayne.
Oh no.
Yeah, and I'm not sure I believe this. An open racist. I never saw that.
Huh.
Who
wait a minute. I know
anti-LGBTQ. Now I know this list is full of shit because there was no such thing as LGBTQ back then. There was just G.
Yeah. There
was gay, and that was it. And you know what? The world was a better place for it when there was just gay.
Yeah.
There's too many letters. It's too confusing.
I do know he was a good friend with Woody Strode. Woody Strode was started out as a stunt man.
A
And,
gay black man. I bet he was a gay black
no,
man.
he was black, but he wasn't gay. But
Damn
they were friends, and he had him in a few of his movies. So I don't know.
I was
if
hoping we
that's-
could save the Duke's reputation with a gay black man.
No, well, I don't think he was gay, but you never know.
He was a drunk. I know that. But
John Wayne?
There's been a lot of. Oh yeah, there's some.
Really?
Listen, Google John Wayne drunk speeches. He gave a speech. He gave a speech at one of the military academies one time. It was funny but sad at the same time. Where he's going to speak to all these graduates, and he goes, "I'll tell you what, I love this gun." I mean, he was just hammered. Yeah, he liked to drink some whiskey, but of course, they all did. Sinatra, all those guys were heavy drinkers.
Oh yeah.
All right, Gandhi.
Nah.
Yeah. When he was younger, he abused his wife. He held racist views towards black people when he lived in South Africa. And he slept naked with teenage girls.
Whoa.
In order to test his celibacy. Come on now.
You know,
anybody gonna buy that? If they come and bust down your door, and Alpha's naked in the bed with 16-year-old girls, and he tries to tell them, "I'm celibate and I'm testing myself."
Yeah.
Is that gonna fly?
No, we're just playing tent. That's all. I mean, that's not be out of excitement. It just
You got a new one now. You can say, "I didn't remember that they were under 16 because I have dementia."
Hey, buddy.
The dog's looking good today.
Yeah, he is looking good.
All right. The Kennedy family. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff there.
Yeah.
The lobotomy and the bootlegging and the paying off politicians, the affairs, Chappaquiddick. I mean, we could just go on and on and on with them.
Yeah.
Now, there's one on here that bothers me, and it's Mother Teresa.
Yeah?
And there's a lot of people who hate God. They hate the idea of God. They hate the idea of the church, particularly the Catholic Church. And so they attack the saints. And you have to remember that all the saints were humans. All the bishops are humans. All the priests are humans. All the members of the church are humans. And I don't care what church you're a member of. There's enough scandals to go around.
Oh yeah.
But Mother Teresa spent her life living by choice in one of the poorest places on earth,
Calcutta,
caring for the abandoned orphan children of the poorest people on earth in the most squalid conditions, and spent her life raising money to keep the orphanage open, and operated herself until the day that she died.
Now,
so if you want to go digging up bones on somebody like that, I'd be careful.
Well, there are rumors.
I'm not sure the big guy is going to like you doing that.
But there are rumors that she trafficked some of those orphans.
I've never heard that rumor. The rumor that I heard is that the facilities at time could be unsanitary.
Yeah.
Again, they didn't have very much money. They're in the most poor, nasty place in the world, pretty much, where they're doing this. And she's living there in the middle of it. Not like she's staying down the street at a 5-star hotel. She's living there. And then here's one I don't get. It says patients were denied pain relief because she believed suffering brought people closer to God. And the church does teach that suffering brings you closer to God. There's no doubt about that. But she took care of orphan children. So I don't know you know what I'm saying?
I do.
It sounds to me like they're talking. It sounds to me like they're talking about adults.
Well, got nothing. Yep. She certainly has been a figure that whose reputation we've cherished.
Yeah. Well, anyway, she is a saint, and in my mind, the good that she did far exceeds any bad. But I really do think there are atheists and people that hate God, they hate the church, and they're always trying to come up with something bad to say about saints or priests or bishops or preachers or who, anybody in a church they can make look bad. They spend overtime doing it.
Yeah,
they really do. All right, Alpha, that's about all I got for today. What about you?
Well, I got nothing. Going to continue to follow
Virginia Tech. Has Virginia Tech hired a coach yet?
No, they keep talking about Franklin from Penn State.
Don't have a prayer. I don't think they have a prayer.
They got a lot of money. They are bragging about the kind of money that they have. I know they've been in extended talks with him, but not sure where that is at this point. I think, they've got Miami at home next week and then UVA on the road after Thanksgiving. It's not going to be a bowl season for the Hokies. However, the basketball team might be challenging to some folks. Pretty interesting kid from Greece. You don't like college basketball? You're in North Carolina. You got to like college basketball.
I hate basketball. I could care less. College, high school, NBA. If they never dribbled another ball, I could care less. I just never got into it.
I think there's dementia kicking in there, man. I don't know what's going on with me.
I've been that way since I was a kid. I couldn't play the game, so I just never liked it. But anyway. Well, look, thank you for checking out the Jack Murphy podcast. As always, by the way, did you see the thing I posted on Facebook over the weekend? We just hit our 25,000th view of the podcast.
Wonderful.
Kind of a milestone I was proud of. But if you have not subscribed, open a YouTube account and subscribe. It's free. It's absolutely free. And subscribe, like the video, and we'll be back tomorrow with another edition of the Jack Murphy podcast, if I remember to be here.
Which jury's still out. Oh.
Thanks for watching the Jack Murphy podcast. Remember to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Go ahead, ring it. Get alerts when a new episode drops, and tell your friends about the Jack Murphy podcast. But only the cool friends, please. Tune in next time for another episode of the Jack Murphy podcast.